What is up, my friends? We are back with another player ratings video after Liverpool have thankfully beaten Aston Villa by 2 goals to 0. Not only did it return us to winning ways, but let's be honest about it, we looked much more like ourselves. Clean sheet to boot as well, no harm in that one. So as always, we're going to go through giving the referee, the players, the substitutes and our manager all a score out of 10. You'll see two images or two squares on every player image. The upper right hand corner is the Anfield Agenda audience score and the large square in the centre is my score. If you'd like to submit your player ratings in the future, make sure you're signed up to the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp community, which is where we post a link, and you can do that with the QR code in the bottom corner. Feel free to play along in the comments as well. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like, and of course would love you to hit that subscribe button. So let's start off with the referee. And look, this score would have been a little bit higher, but I have to take into account Paul Tierney on VAR as well, as they're all part of the refereeing team, and I will never understand how Onana wasn't sent off. Actually thought Atwell did okay throughout most of the game, but gets docked a point for that because it should have been a red card and nobody will ever convince me otherwise. So for the ref, I've given him a 5.5, and the audience have gone higher than me for the ref there with a score of 5.9. He obviously didn't take into account the Paul Tierney shenanigans. Next up, Georgie Mamardashvili, great for the big man to keep a clean sheet. Made a very, very good save in the first half as well with that deflected shot off Virgil van Dijk's leg that was dipping into the top corner, which he touched onto the post. Obviously, he was fortunate that another Villa shot early doors hit the post, but all in all, he looked calm, composed, commanded his area, made his saves when he needed to, and yeah, a very accomplished performance. So great to see him do it, and I'm going to give him a score of 8. Really delighted for him, by the way, that he got that clean sheet, and 7.5 from the Anfield Agenda audience. But do let me know what your thoughts were on Georgie's performance in the comments. Next up, Conor Bradley, who I thought had a very good game. Right now, he is my right back ahead of Jeremy Frimpong based off what I'm seeing. I'm not saying he's the finished article because he does still have some rashness to him, but he's full of energy, he's full of fight, and I love his dual success rate as well. He always gets stuck in. And look, we do play an advanced right back, so yes, we get caught in behind at times, but I thought today he was really, really good. So for Conor Bradley, I'm going to give him a score of 7.5. And the audience pretty much agree there with a score for Conor of 7.3. Hopefully, he can keep carrying this on and stay fit, which is another important aspect. Moving on to Ibu, bar a couple of silly things like nudging into the back of Ollie Watkins, which was giving away a free kick. I can't fault them today. I can't fault him or Virgil. I thought they were both very comfortable, dealt with everything that came into our penalty areas, getting their blocks in, stopping some crosses as well, and most importantly, kept a clean sheet. So well done to everybody in the back line on that. Going to give Konate a 7.5 for that performance from me, and a 7.1 from the Anfield Agenda audience. Next up, our captain. Now look, I got to get this off my chest. I really, really hated his comments after the match about the noise that he keeps banging on about, and about last season everything being sunshine and rainbows even when they report. No, it wasn't, Virgil. Fans are absolutely entitled to have their say after the team loses 6 and 7. They weren't booing you. They weren't leaving the stadium. They were in there paying their money, and they've every right to express an opinion online or otherwise. If you don't know the quotes I'm on about, maybe have a little look and read up on them, but I just really don't like that look from Virgil after a really improved performance where it should be positive because the players were great, the fans were great, the result was great, and I don't like that little sour taste that's left from Virgil. So yeah, annoyed by that. But on the performance on the pitch, no complaints from Virgil. I thought he was pretty good today, and again, part of the backline that kept a clean sheet, so more of that please, captain. Going to give Virgil a score of 8 from me and a 7.3 from the audience. Next up, Andy Robertson. So I thought better, much more composed, much more aggressive, much more measured than we've seen from Milos Kerkez. I would play Andy Robertson against Manchester City away again, which means I would play Kerkez on Tuesday because I don't want Robbo playing 3 quick games on the bounce like that. But that was really, really good. And right now you'd have to say he deserves to be ahead of Milos Kerkez in the pecking order. So today, for Andy Robertson, I'm giving him a score of 8 because I really was impressed with his display, and a 7.4 from the audience. Into midfield, Ryan Gravenberch, great to see him back in. Again, I think we're better when he's in the team. Got himself a goal today. A little bit fortunate with the deflection, but hey, you don't buy a ticket, you don't win the raffle. And there were times, particularly in the first 20, where I did think you could see that he hadn't played it a little bit and he wasn't at the levels he's capable of. But that being said, as the game went on, him and Maka and Szoboszlai did control that midfield. So full credit to Ryan today, and great to have him back in. Giving him a 7, and the audience have gone higher there for Ryan with a score of 8.1. Do let me know what you guys think though on that performance from Ryan today, and as I said, great to have him back in the team. Alexis Mac Allister, probably the one decision today that raised many eyebrows, or in my case, one eyebrow, amongst fans, but I think he probably justified that decision from the manager. He went back to the midfield that won us the league last year, and the grit and determination was there. Even though Maka is still searching for his best form, he put in a good shift there today, and I think can be proud of his 90 minutes, or, well, proud of his minutes on the pitch. So for me, I'm giving Alexis Mac Allister a score of 7, and the audience has gone a little bit higher than me with a score from Maka there of 7.3. But again, great to see him looking somewhat like his old self. Right, here's the man, Dominik Szoboszlai, without a doubt player of the season so far, with 53%, I think, was your Anfield Agenda man of the match as well. And look, he's just been incredible this season. I keep saying this every week, but he said in the summer he wasn't giving up his position without a fight, and my God, did he mean it. He's a real leader, and I think in the future, whenever Virgil does depart the club, I think you're looking at a potential future captain there, and let me know if you agree with it. Performance-wise, he gets a 9 for me because, as I said, I thought he was incredible, as was somebody else we're going to move on to in a second, but 9 for me and an 8.8 from the Anfield Agenda audience. Moving on now to Mohamed Salah. And look, it's no accident that when the great man plays well, we play well. He got himself a goal today, which we'll move on to in a second. But even before that, everything about Mo today looked sharp, confident. He had Digne on toast, lovely little flicks, great physical strength to keep the ball not being brushed off it easily, winning possession, using it well. A couple of times in the counter-attack in the second half, probably was a decision or two, could have gone a different way for him with regards to when he released the ball. But brilliant stuff from Mo. And without the press being set as it was from the first 20 minutes today, we probably wouldn't have forced Villa into that mistake. And he was so quick-minded to not only intercept the pass from Emi Martinez, but right-footed first time, passing it into the goal as well. Delighted for him, delighted for the team, and hopefully this is a return to form for, well, what we know Mo is capable of. So for me today, he gets a score of 9, and the audience have gone for an 8.1. For what it was worth, he would have been my man of the match. He would have got my vote in the vote earlier on. But again, great to see Mo looking somewhat back to his best. Next up, Cody Gakpo. Got to be honest, a little bit frustrated at times by Cody today. Look, we know what he's going to do if he cuts inside, but too often when he cuts inside and doesn't get the shot away quickly, I feel like he takes too much out of the ball and then his shot's eventually blocked. Sometimes, yes, you want him to mix it up, and there was 1 or 2 times he did that, but I don't know, I just feel it's almost too measured out there from Cody. Like I've always said, he chips in with his fair amount of goals and assists, but I'm still, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm still feeling myself a little bit wanting more from him. So for me, I'm giving him a 6.5, which coincidentally is exactly the same as the audience. Ugo Ekitike, understand totally why the manager took him off, because you need to make sure he's ready for Tuesday in case Isak isn't back yet, because he is our number 9 at the minute. He is the striker that we have fit and available, and he'd probably be deserving to start either way. Again, didn't get himself a goal today. He thought he had, but he was correctly judged offside. I just think when he's on there, our energy levels look higher, and he always looks to make something happen, whether it's a little flick round the corner. He had some lovely build-up play down the left with Alexis Mac Allister on a couple of occasions as well. I just think he's fitting in really well since he's come to the club. So for me, I'm giving him a 7, and the audience have gone a tad bit higher than me there with a 7.2. For what it's worth, I don't know the audience's score when I sit down to record these videos. Connor does it remotely, so I learn in real time exactly what's happening. Right, Florian Wirtz, again, probably raised a few eyebrows that he didn't start this game today. I have a feeling he will start the game at midweek against Real Madrid, and then we may revert back to Maka for Man City, depending on that performance. Although Tuesday to Sunday is quite a gap, so maybe the manager will feel like there's enough there. Look, he's going to take his time to settle into the league. We know that, but we are seeing slight improvements week on week, and I can't reiterate this enough. I have zero doubts that he'll be a success at Liverpool. None. It's just a matter of when. So today, from his little cameo, I'm giving him a 6.5, and the audience have gone lower than me there with a score for Florian Wirtz of 5.8. He had a little cheeky smile on his face there today as well, like he was enjoying himself out there. So, the gaffer, who has come in for a lot of criticism from me, from many others, and I think still deserving from what we'd seen, but he made a huge call midweek, a call to really just give away the League Cup competition and put all the focus on this game and, of course, the next couple of games coming up as well. And you have to say, whether you agree with him or not, and I still disagree with the weakness of that squad, his decision was somewhat vindicated today, particularly because we did look fresh, we did look aggressive, we did look far better. All the things that we recognise normally in a Liverpool team aren't got out of the boys today. Any question marks over whether the players are playing for him or not were answered today. Look, it's one step, a baby step in the right direction, and there's still more to come. But we got a reaction today. He deserves credit for that. I think the crowd deserve huge credit as well today, because they were a big, big factor in lifting that team. And again, I'm relieved, because we've always said, and I still say, I want him to succeed because I like him, but we needed to see a difference, and today we did. So it's one step in the right direction. All the plaudits he gets today are deserved, and hopefully we can back it up with a couple of more performances this week, because there's 2 more difficult games coming up. So for Arna, I'm going to give him a 7, and the audience have gone a bit higher there with a 7.4. So ladies and gentlemen, that is the Anfield Agenda player ratings. Do let me know what you agree or disagree with in the comment section. And you're not imagining it, there was only 1 substitution today. A little bit surprised by that, to be honest with you, but the result, the clean sheet, the performance, everything we could have hoped for coming into this game. The Reds are now back up to 3rd place in the Premier League table with a big week to go before the international break. So fingers crossed for 2 positive results, and we'll see you soon. Much love. Bye-bye.